Hello, welcome to American English for International Doctors. My name is Simone and I'm your English language specialist. In this lesson, we're going to go over some strategies to help you pronounce American names correctly. But first, a story. I want to take you back to my high school graduation. There were about 400 classmates, and my name started with a W, so I was almost at the back of the line. So as I watched my classmates, I saw what was going on. They were given the signal to go on the stage. They would go across to the principal. Their names would be announced. They would get their diploma, shake the hands, and then that's it. They're graduates now. So finally, it was my turn, my family and friends in the audience waiting for me. It was getting closer to my time, and then I got to the stage. Now it's my turn next. So I get the signal that it's my turn. I start to cross the stage to the principal, and I hear my name, Simon Cecil Weaver. Well, I hesitated because that's not my name. My name is Simone Cecile Weaver. So I did graduate that day, but unfortunately there aren't any pictures because my family wasn't paying close attention. They didn't hear my name, so I never got a picture. So I know how it feels to have your name mispronounced. My teachers mispronounced my name, called me Simon the whole time I was growing up. And I remember from decades ago, I remember that feeling of being embarrassed, and ashamed and thinking I'm different because my name is different than other people's. So I understand that. And as a doctor, it's really important for you to get the names of your patients correct. Why is it important? Well, it's crucial that you establish that connection with your patient as soon as possible. As soon as you walk in the door, that's your first impression, is getting the name correct. Mispronouncing it can give that person the impression that you don't really care. And taking the time to learn and get it right shows that you do care. So this is a crucial skill, and both ways. Both ways. We know that your name might be difficult for Americans to pronounce, and we know that you might have some difficulty pronouncing American names. So it's a give and take situation here. So how can we all get through this and learn each other's names and pronounce them correctly? Well, first of all, commit to pronouncing names correctly. That's the mindset. So we all have to have the mindset that we are going to show respect for the other people and get their names right. So that's the first step. The second one is, if you come across a name that you can't pronounce properly, admit that you are struggling. Don't just mumble through it. Admit it. Be humble. Say, I'm really having trouble pronouncing your name. And at that point, you can ask for help so they can slow down, and then you can try to copy them at that point. Sometimes you can write the name phonetically so that you'll be able to pronounce it correctly, and then keep trying until it's correct. So don't just, if they say, oh, that's good enough, try again. Really commit to learning it the proper way. And also, the next time you meet that patient, confirm that your pronunciation is still correct. So you might still make a mistake, the second time. So reconfirm that you got it correct. Now, these are the strategies, but I did want to look at some patterns for American names. So what I did was I looked up the 50 most common American last names, and here's the list. Now you'll notice on this list that there are about 10 Spanish surnames because we live so close to Mexico and Central America. We have quite a few, a lot of citizens that have a Spanish surname. And so we'll go through these separately. So for the English names, what I've noticed is the pattern is that the stress always goes on the first syllable. Okay, so of course, if it's one syllable like Smith or Hall or Lee or Brown, that's me, then you know that that's where the stress goes. but for a name with 2 or more syllables, then the stress goes on the first syllable. Johnson, Williams, Miller, Davis, Wilson, Anderson, Taylor, Thomas, Martin, Jackson, Thompson, etc. Okay, so you can see that's the pattern. I haven't found anything that goes against that pattern except for the Spanish names. So if you get a Spanish surname, then the stress goes on the second to last syllable. So number 8, Garcia. Number 9, Rodriguez. Number 11, Martinez. Number 15, Hernandez. Number 12, Lopez. 23, Gonzalez. So if you get the stress in the correct place, that will go a long way to being the correct way to pronounce something, is to get the stress in the correct place. Now with first names, I found with the 50 most common male names that Americans have, it's always stressed on the first syllable. And listen for the schwa. So Robert, Michael. So it's Michael, is the schwa, right? Richard, Thomas, Christopher, Daniel, Matthew. Okay, so they're always stressed on the first syllable. So remember that for the male names. For the female names, women are a little more complicated. And so most of them are stressed on the first syllable when you're pronouncing an American female name. There are some here that I have highlighted that are exceptions. So the ones that follow the rule: Mary, Jennifer, Linda, Barbara, Susan, Jessica, Sarah, Karen. Okay, so those are all on the first syllable. The ones that are highlighted are a little bit different. The ones that are French-based, like my name, it'll be on the last syllable. Simone, okay? Nicole, Michelle. These are French-based names. And there are a few other ones, and I've highlighted the stressed syllable. Patricia, Elizabeth, Kathleen, Samantha, Christine, Virginia. So practice these names. Practice if you're going to take the Step 2 CS. You might want to look in the first aid book and go through those names. Ask a native speaker if you're saying them correctly. So at least you'll start to get an ear as to how to pronounce these typical American names. And so I hope this has been helpful, and let me know what else I can do to help. Thanks.